There's this moment everyone has. You're at the grocery store. You reach for a container of arugula or a head of lettuce. You flip it over, see the price, and something inside you just breaks a little. $5, $6, sometimes more, for something that was picked 3 days ago and is already halfway wilted. And while you're standing there holding this expensive, disappointing vegetable, there's a voice in your head. A quiet one. It says, I could literally grow this at home. But then you don't, because you think it takes forever. You think you need a real garden. You think you need experience. You think you need some magical green thumb that you obviously don't have. Here's what I'm about to tell you, that voice in your head? That's right. And you should have listened to it months ago. There are vegetables you can grow in a container, literally just a pot on your patio or balcony or fire escape, that'll be ready to eat in 30 days or less. Some in 2 weeks. Some in less than that. I'm talking about going from seed to your dinner plate faster than you'd expect. Fresher than anything you'll ever buy. Tasting so good you'll wonder why grocery store food tastes like disappointment by comparison. And here's the thing that really gets me, you're gonna save serious money. We're talking about $150 to $300 every single month if you actually commit to this. That's real money. That's not some hypothetical you could save if you tried. That's actual dollars staying in your wallet instead of going to a supermarket. So stick with me, because I'm about to show you 10 vegetables, and I mean actually show you, step by step, that will change how you think about food and money and growing things. The first 5 are solid. They're easy. They work. But the last 5? Those are the ones that made me actually regret not planting them sooner. So if you're someone who's ever thought about growing your own food but didn't, or tried and gave up, or just never got around to it, this is the moment you stop making excuses. New here? Subscribe. Because this is what we do here. We show you how to stop throwing money at the supermarket and start actually growing it. Comment below. Tell me which one you're most excited about. And if you've grown any of these before, drop your tips. We're building this together. Let's go. Arugula, the fastest start. You want to feel like you actually succeeded at something? Arugula is where you start. This is genuinely one of the quickest wins in gardening. 18 to 25 days from seed to harvest. That's not even the full cycle of a show on Netflix. You literally plant it on a Tuesday and you're eating it by the following Monday. Here's how you actually do it. Get a container about 10 to 12 inches wide. Doesn't need to be deep. Arugula's roots are shallow. Fill it with decent potting soil. The kind designed for containers, not garden soil. That distinction matters because potting soil drains better and holds moisture the right way. Scatter the seeds across the surface. Don't bury them deep, they need light to germinate. Just press them lightly into the soil. Water gently. Keep it moist, not waterlogged. 2 to 3 days and you'll see germination starting. By day 7 you've got little green tops. By day 18 you're harvesting. But here's where arugula gets really good. You don't harvest once and you're done. You cut the outer leaves. The plant keeps growing. You get 4, 5, 6 harvests from one planting before it gets too bitter or bolts. Best months to plant: spring, April, May, or fall, August, September. This is a cool season crop. Summer heat makes it bitter and angry. But spring and fall? That's when arugula becomes your favorite thing you've ever grown. The money part: one seed packet costs $3. One container of arugula gives you enough for multiple salads over several weeks. At the grocery store, prepackaged arugula costs $4 to $6 for half the amount. One seed packet replacing $60 to $80 worth of grocery store purchases. That's $100 a month if you keep replanting and rotating containers. Radishes, the satisfying harvest. Radishes hit different. It's not just that they grow fast. It's that you can see what's happening. Plant a radish seed and you're watching the magic happen in real time. Week 1 you've got green tops poking up. Week 2 you can actually feel the bulb forming under the soil if you gently brush it aside. That tangible progress, that visible proof that something is actually happening, That's what gets people hooked on gardening. French breakfast radishes are your sweet spot for containers. They're ready in about 25 to 30 days. They taste good. They're reliable. Here's the setup. Container at least 6 inches deep, 8 to 10 inches is better. Potting mix. Plant seeds about ½ an inch down, spacing them an inch apart. Keep the soil consistently moist. They don't like drought. Water regularly. They prefer cooler weather, so they're not fussy about light, but they appreciate it. That's basically your whole checklist. In 3 weeks you're pulling actual radishes out of the ground. Actually growing food. The dopamine hit of harvesting something you grew is real, and radishes deliver it faster than almost anything else. Best planting windows: spring, March, April, May, and fall, August, September, October. Radishes absolutely hate summer heat. They'll split, bolt, or taste harsh. Respect the seasons and you'll get beautiful, crisp radishes. The financial angle: radish seeds cost almost nothing. Store-bought radishes? $2 to $3 per bunch for maybe 8 to 10 radishes. If you grow 3 or 4 pots on a staggered rotation, you're harvesting bunches every week. That's saving you $30, $40 monthly. Plus you're roasting them, pickling them, throwing them raw in salads. They're versatile in a way grocery store radishes never are. Lettuce, the volume play. Lettuce is the gateway drug. It's forgiving. It grows fast. And it tastes noticeably better than anything you're buying. Spring mix, that's your blend of oak leaf, red leaf, butter crunch, different tender varieties all in one container, is the easiest entry point. Each variety has slightly different maturity windows, which means staggered harvests from a single pot. Planting is straightforward. Wide, shallow container. 12 to 14 inches across, 6 to 8 inches deep. Potting mix. Scatter seeds densely across the surface. You want maybe 16 to 25 plants per square foot. They're small. They don't need tons of individual space. Light mist. Keep moist. Place it somewhere with morning sun and afternoon shade if you're in a warm climate. Full sun if it's cooler. That's it. First harvest at 20 to 25 days, outer leaves. Full harvests at 30 to 35 days. And just like arugula, you're cutting leaves and the plant keeps producing. Sweet spot seasons: spring, February through May, and fall, August through November. Lettuce bolts fast in summer. It appreciates cool temperatures. The dollars and cents reality: 1 seed packet of spring mix costs $2 to $3 and produces enough lettuce for 2 people for 6 to 8 weeks if you're harvesting regularly. Grocery store spring mix? $5 to $7 per container. Those containers barely cover 2 salads. 1 seed packet replaces what you'd normally spend $50 to $80 on in grocery lettuce over 2 months. And it tastes so much better because it went from soil to plate in hours, not days. Spinach, the nutrition angle. Here's where people get confused. They think 90 days and write spinach off. That's for mature, full-size spinach you're cooking with. But baby spinach for salads? That's 20 to 30 days. Totally different timeline. Baby spinach is where it's at for quick harvests and containers. Bloomsdale long-standing is the variety that works for most people. It's cold-tolerant, disease-resistant, and tastes genuinely good. Not that tough, bitter spinach. Actually mild and nutty. Here's how. Container at least 8 inches deep, 12 inches wide. Potting mix. Scatter spinach seeds. Thin the seedlings to about 4 inches apart once they've got true leaves. Keep soil consistently moist. Spinach doesn't tolerate drought well. It'll bolt fast if stressed. Give it morning sun, partial afternoon shade. 20 to 30 days for baby leaf harvests. Or wait 45 to 60 days for bigger leaves if you want to cook with it. Ideal growing periods: spring, March through May, and early fall, August through September. Spinach laughs at light frost. It actually tastes better after a cold night. Deep freezes will set it back, so time accordingly. Why this matters financially: store-bought baby spinach costs $4 to $6 per container. Half the time it's already halfway to wilting. Spinach is nutrition-dense, more iron, more nutrients per ounce than lettuce. You're not just saving money, you're getting better nutrition. One seed packet costs $2 and produces enough spinach for one person's salads for 2 months. That's $40 to $60 in grocery spending replaced by a $2 seed packet. Pea shoots, the restaurant secret. This is the one that surprises people. This is where you realize there's a whole category of vegetables restaurants charge premium prices for that you can grow for pennies. Pea shoots. That's it. You've seen them on restaurant plates, delicate, sweet, tender stems used as garnish or salad component. Restaurants pay $3 to $8 per ounce for these. $3 to $8 per ounce. They'll mark it up and charge customers $20 to $40 for a salad that has maybe half an ounce of pea shoots on it. And you can grow enough in 2 weeks to supply 3 dinners worth. Here's the setup. Shallow tray or container. Even a 10 by 10 inch square works. 1 inch of potting mix. Soak pea seeds for a few hours, then spread them densely across the soil. Hay should be packed pretty close, almost touching. Mist lightly. Cover loosely with cloth to keep moisture in. Keep in indirect light. 5 to 7 days and you see shoots poking through. 10 to 14 days they're ready to harvest. You cut them at soil level with scissors. 1 tray gives you multiple harvests before the plant gets tired. Best growing windows, spring or fall for maximum sweetness. But honestly, pea shoots grow year-round if you give them steady moisture and moderate light. The financial side, 1 pound of pea seeds costs $4 to $6. That pound produces multiple trays of pea shoots over several weeks. You're harvesting enough tender pea shoots to fill salads or use as garnish maybe 100 times what restaurants are charging for the same product. But here's where your thinking shifts. This isn't just about saving money at the grocery store anymore. This is about realizing you can grow a product with actual market value. Farmers markets pay attention to pea shoots. Restaurants buy them. There's actual money here if you wanted to scale it. But even just for yourself, you're never buying sad, wilted garnish from the store again. Swiss chard, the underrated powerhouse. Swiss chard gets overlooked. People grow spinach, grow lettuce, and just skip chard. Which is a mistake, because chard is actually one of the most productive vegetables you can grow in a container. It's hardy. It produces consistently. It's nutritious as hell. And it tastes good whether you cook it or eat it raw. Plus, it's beautiful. That's not a small thing. If you're growing in a visible spot, chard's colorful stems, they come in red, yellow, orange, white, look like something you should be growing just for decoration. Except you're also eating it. Here's how to grow it. Container at least 12 inches wide, 10 inches deep. Potting mix. Plant seeds about ½ an inch down, spacing them 2 inches apart. Water regularly. Give it full sun if you can, partial shade if it's hot where you are. Chard is tough. It doesn't complain much. 30 days and you're harvesting outer leaves. And then you keep harvesting. For months. 1 chard plant keeps producing through summer, into fall, sometimes into early winter depending on where you live. Best months, plant in spring, March, April, or early summer, June. It'll produce through the heat, which most greens won't do. Money angle, seeds cost $2 to $3. 1 container producing lettuce quality greens for 3 to 4 months straight. That's $40 to $60 worth of grocery store greens replaced by a $3 seed packet. And chard actually lasts longer and produces more than lettuce or spinach. Kale, the underdog. Kale has this reputation for being tough and bitter. That's store-bought kale talking. Homegrown kale is a completely different thing. Lacinato kale, sometimes called dinosaur kale, is the one to grow. It's sweeter than curly kale. It's more tender, and it grows in about 30 days to a harvestable size. Container setup. 14 inches wide minimum, 12 inches deep. Potting mix. Plant seeds about ½ an inch deep, spacing them 4 inches apart. Kale doesn't need much. Sun, water, decent soil. That's your whole requirement. 30 days and you can start harvesting outer leaves. Kale responds to harvesting by producing more leaves. So the more you pick, the more it produces. Best planting, spring or fall. Kale actually sweetens up after a frost, so fall-planted kale tastes noticeably better than spring kale. The money, one seed packet replaces $30 to $40 worth of grocery store kale over 2 to 3 months of harvesting. Plus, homegrown kale is so much fresher and better tasting that you'll actually eat it instead of letting it wilt in your fridge. Green beans, the protein play. Green beans are different because they're a vegetable that actually feels substantial. You're not just harvesting leaves. You're harvesting actual beans. Actual protein. Bush varieties are best for containers because they stay compact. They produce heavily. And they're fast. Here's the thing. Green beans are a gateway to realizing vegetables have more nutritional density than you thought. Planting. Container at least 12 inches across, 10 inches deep. Potting mix. Plant seeds 1 inch deep, spacing them 4 inches apart. Water regularly. Give them full sun. Green beans love sun. 50 to 60 days and you're harvesting. But here's where it gets interesting. You harvest immature beans. So you're picking them while they're still tender. One plant produces dozens of beans. Best months, plant after the last frost. Green beans like warmth. Spring or early summer, depending on where you live. Money side, one seed packet costs $2 to $3. One container producing handfuls of fresh green beans for 2 to 3 months. That's $30 to $50 worth of grocery store green beans. Plus, fresh green beans taste exponentially better than frozen or store-bought. Basil, the culinary game changer. Basil isn't just an herb. Once you grow fresh basil, you understand what you've been missing at the grocery store. Store-bought basil comes in those tiny plastic containers. It costs $3 to $4. It lasts maybe a week before it's brown and sad. Homegrown basil? You're harvesting leaves continually. Fresh every day. For months. Planting. 8-inch container minimum. Potting mix. Plant seeds about 1/4 inch deep. Keep moist but not waterlogged. Basil loves sun and warmth. Full sun is ideal. Seeds germinate in 5 to 10 days. You're harvesting leaves in about 30 days. And then you keep harvesting for months. Best months, plant after the last frost. Basil hates cold. Warm season only. The financial angle, one seed packet costs $2 to $3 and produces basil constantly for 3 to 4 months. That's replacing what you'd normally spend $30 to $40 on in store-bought basil. But more importantly, you're using fresh basil in everything because you actually have it available. That changes how you cook. Parsley, the constant supply. Parsley is the workhorse herb. It's hardy. It's productive. And it's one of those things where once you have fresh parsley available constantly, you realize how much you were missing it. Flat leaf parsley, Italian parsley, is more flavorful than curly. But both work. Planting. 8-inch container. Potting mix. Plant seeds about 1/4 inch deep. Parsley is slow to germinate. Takes 2 to 3 weeks. So don't panic when nothing happens immediately. It will. Once it's growing, it produces for months. You harvest outer stems, new growth comes in, you keep harvesting. Best months, spring or fall. Parsley handles temperature fluctuations better than basil. The money, one seed packet costs $2 and produces fresh parsley for 4 to 5 months. That's replacing what you'd spend $40 to $50 on in store-bought parsley. Plus, you're using way more of it because you actually have it available.